Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions Altcoin live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, and here today to tell you which coins are going to be exploding in this upcoming bull market. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin. It's consolidating on this trend line. It's doing quite well. It's pushing up nice and slowly. We were getting rejected a couple of times from this small trend line. We're now approaching the larger trend line from this recent high that we created on the 6th of July. We had some sideways consolidation, had a pump to the upside, dump, and now we're sort of grinding our way up. So I do expect this to maybe have a bit of resolution today. So I'm personally going to be looking to sell my Bitcoin positions between 32 and 38K. I think that's going to be the top for this current bear market bounce. And then hopefully a lot of liquidity moves into the altcoins. So without further ado, today I want to cover some of the altcoins that I'm looking at that are primed to pump. After that, we're also going to look at a historical snapshot of tokens and talk about why I think it's going to be very important to take profits early on a lot of your altcoins during this next bull market. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's start off with Solana. So Solana's had a fair bit of hype last bull market, and it looks primed to do something very similar this next bull market. The lows that we did eventually hit was, $8, which is, very, very cheap for a very well-known blockchain. It's got a huge community. If you are also currently looking at the Solana chart, we can clearly see that we've got an inverse head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Target zone is up here. You take the length of the head from the breakout zone and add it to the breakout area, and it lines up with the 618. So why I'm going to be taking heavy profits on this token at the 382.5 and the 618? Well, not only is it resistance areas for this token, we can clearly see right here. Let me just take we can clearly see that that was support back here in 2022. So it's going to offer resistance. We also see that right here, we had some resistance when we try to break back above. And then lastly, we had support here, which is going to turn into resistance later down the track. So I'm looking at Solana. I think it's going to do pretty well, but I will be selling the majority of my holdings at these three specific areas. And as I said, stay till the end of today's video and I'll explain to you why I'm going to be taking such big profits on most of the altcoins that I'm investing in. Next, we do have AAVE. Now, AAVE is close to breaking this downtrend that we've been in, so I do expect a quick squeeze to the upside. And same as Solana, I'll be looking at taking profits at the major fib retracements, not only because they were previous support, which will turn into resistance. Okay, you can see support here, which will now be resistance, and then the 618 fib retracement. We'll move on to DOT next. Still early to get into DOT as well. As we can see, a series right now at $5.02. I'll be looking at selling, like I said, at $7.69, around about $11, $15, and the 618. MATIC. Now, MATIC had a bit of an issue. Obviously, I think it's a great blockchain. I think when it got named as an SEC security, and named, not obviously proven just yet, just be aware of the difference. It did have a decent dump from about $1 all the way down to 50 cents. It's one of those tokens that did quite well in the bear market. If you actually pull a fib from the all-time high to the lows, we actually came all the way back up to the 618 fib retracement, which is what a lot of people are expecting Bitcoin to do once we break this $31,000 level. But I think that's a lot of hopium for Bitcoin. I'd love to see it, of course. That's why you never sell your bags completely, but I'll be definitely dollar cost averaging out on the way up. So I think MATIC, if the SEC securities rumor is invalid, then obviously it's going to do quite well. But if it does stick around, it's probably going to do what XRP did and not really perform as well. Next one, we have Sand. So if you have any sandbox land like myself, definitely a metaverse token that you want to be holding. You can see that we've got this downtrend. We're nowhere near the downtrend, so it's actually a really good time to possibly buy some. Not financial advice, but this is another token, I believe, that was named in the SEC securities debacle. So if it can come out of that unscathed, it will definitely have some very strong price action to the upside. And lastly on my list is Theta, okay, the decentralized version of YouTube. So we can see once again, I'm going to talk about why I'm selling these fibs. Not only were they previous resistance, as you can see, so the next Theta resistance is at $1.25. This next one here, the $2 mark, obviously doesn't look like we had much resistance, but right here you can see that there's a lot of trading volume during the 2020 bull market. So it's going to be definitely a zone that I look at. The 0.5, a bit of trading action here, and obviously a fair bit here. And then we've got the eventual 618. Now, the reason I'm pointing out the fib retracements today for you guys on these specific tokens, because of course, I do believe these tokens have the power to outdo its previous all-time highs, right? That's number one. However, in order to be safe, because if you haven't been really paying attention, what I want to point out to you guys is the Bitcoin dominance has continuously increased, right? So over the past, let's have a look. Since the start of November last year, Bitcoin's gone on a bit of a rampage. Now, we tend to normally see that at the beginning of most cycles. If we look back here in 2019, we had this huge run up to about 61%, then cooled off and then had a secondary pump. And then once we hit about December 2020, we then had the altcoins starting, and then all the money went and liquidity went into the altcoins. So we're probably going to see something quite similar. We'll probably get to the 618 fib retracement, maybe come back down to where we are now, because this 52% Bitcoin dominance has been difficult for us to break. So come up here, retrace back here, maybe have a secondary pump, and this is where it's going to be quite interesting. Because as you can see on a large scale, if you've ever heard of a W formation, okay, it's usually quite bullish, which would mean that Bitcoin would go to the upside, but the actual mathematics don't really work out, because you normally measure the length of this zone, so from here to here, and then you grab that and you place it on top, and that would take Bitcoin past the 100% mark. But I do think that altcoins will Bitcoin dominance will rise. Like I said, here, come back down, maybe pop up to the 70% zone, and then we're going to have this influx of liquidity entering the altcoin market. So you kind of want to get in early to your altcoins right now, plant those seeds for them to grow into fruition. Now, the reason I was talking about the fibs a lot today is I want to look at the historical snapshot of cryptocurrency. So if you like to use CoinMarketCap, I'll show you how you can find this. You just hover your mouse over the cryptocurrencies tab right here and go to historical snapshots. And this will take you back to all the historical snapshots of the actual date. So if you go to November 3rd in 2013, you click on that, and it'll show you what the Bitcoin price was, $215. Imagine getting Bitcoin at that stage. We had Litecoin, XRP, Pcoin, Namecoin, etc., etc. Most of these are probably completely dead. Let's just quickly go to Lucky Coin. Let's see what it's happening. No, yep, you can see there's no market cap. It's completely dead. Let's go all time. Can't find any data. But what I've done is I've actually gone back to those historical snapshots. Let me just reopen that. And I've just picked a select few tokens that I remember the name, but maybe either never invested or did invest back when I got into crypto in 2017. So the first one is Namecoin. Now, what you can see with Namecoin, it came out in 2013, had a huge pump to the upside from pennies on the dollar, so 50 cents all the way to 80 cents. Then the 2018 bull market didn't achieve its previous all-time high. It got to about the 786 fib retracement. Okay, approximately. And then in the most recent bull market, once again, did not fare quite well. So right now we're in this kind of like descending triangle. Of course, we can have a pump to the upside, but this token kind of shows me that if I was to buy now at $1.60, I'd be lucky and probably looking to sell at $2.70, the previous all-time high. That would be like the best case scenario, just with the historical snapshot of what this token is showing me. Of course, it can just totally pump back to all-time highs, but through what history is showing me right now, that would not be a very smart or wise investment to buy now at $1.60 and to sell at $2.60. You're just going to be getting under a 2x. You may as well just buy Bitcoin right now and know you're going to get a 3 to 5x over the next 24 months. But what I want to show you is this is what can happen to the majority, and this is what happened to the majority of altcoins back in 2013. Same in 2014, 15, 16, all the way to where we are now. There is only a handful of tokens like Ethereum, like Litecoin, like Ethereum Classic, that has continuously made higher highs on its price chart each and every single bull cycle. So in order to stay safe, especially investing in altcoins, because I use altcoins as a vehicle to make money and profit to then reinvest into the hardest asset, which is Bitcoin, and then a little bit less in Ethereum. But this is why I want to talk to you guys about my strategy for this upcoming bull market. We now have Peercoin. So we can see Peercoin came out in 2013, jumped all the way up to $7, came crashing down. The 2018 bull market did reach a previous all-time high. And then the most recent bull market didn't even come anywhere near, right? So if I was to buy Peercoin right now, which I'm not, but I'd be looking to sell at this little peak right here, which is $1.20, which is 3x from where we are. But I'm not confident that it's going to do that, especially with the recent bull market where it absolutely tanked and fizzled. It's not really a smart investment. However, we don't know what's going to be a smart investment because there were so many new tokens in the last bull market where it was their first bull market. So we don't know what their trajectory is going to be in this upcoming bull market. This is why you're going to want to be taking profits very early on your altcoins, especially as Bitcoin dominance increases, and you want to be funneling that money back into Bitcoin. Not financial advice, just what I'm doing. Next, we got TerraCoin. If we look at TerraCoin, look how horrible that is. 2014, nothing. 2018, nothing. And absolutely nothing in 2020. So this is why we need to be making sure that we're taking profits early on our altcoins. Here's the next one, Dash. Okay, huge 2018, horrible 2021. But this coin had so much hype around it. Look at the market cap. Still a huge market cap. But right now at $33. If I was to buy this token, I'd probably look to sell at about 140. We can see this little peak right here lines up with that right here. So we're going to probably find a lot of resistance, and therefore, if I was to buy this token, I'd be looking at getting my quick little 5x from where we are now, and then just calling it a day. I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to find these all-time highs. I'm trying to just make sure I'm investing into tokens that are going to move up, number one, and take my profits real early, especially if I'm hedging against Bitcoin. Next, we've got Dogecoin. I mean, look at Dogecoin, absolutely sleeper till 2018, where it went to 1 cent. Then we had the Elon pump all the way up to 60 cents. And now we're kind of grinding sideways. It does look like it's ready to sort of possibly break out. If we're looking at this, it's basically one huge descending triangle. Usually this would be bearish, but we do seem to be at the bottom of the range. So with one Elon pump, this token can obviously continuously grow. The next one, we have Monero. Okay, Monero's got a very similar chart to Litecoin. If you've seen me talk about Litecoin before, it basically equaled its previous all-time high. So if you were someone expecting Monero to be like Ethereum, where it continuously pushed, you probably held on to this thing for the first huge pullback that it had in the 2021 bull market, right back down to 197, and then you would just bled the entire way. So with these tokens, right now, if I was to buy Monero, which is a great privacy coin, I'd be looking at least selling back to the previous all-time high, 451. Wouldn't get greedy, might hold a couple just in case we break it, but this is not a time to be risking your capital. This is a time to be looking at altcoins that are going to outperform Bitcoin, and then you can reinvest that money back into Bitcoin. So you can see here at $164, you're looking at a 3x from here. I'd rather get a 3x from Bitcoin because I know Bitcoin's going to stick around. Next one, we've got Digibyte. Okay, Digibyte did slightly outperform its all-time high. Right, we hit, what do we hit here? It's hard to get the top. 12 and a bit cents. And then this all-time high was like, what's this one? It's hard to get the peaks on these bloody little graphs. Let me just widen things up. There we go. 15 cents, right? So slightly higher high, but one of those ththings right now, if you were to invest it at 0.8 of a cent, you'd be looking at, I think that's a 30x. Let's have a look. 0.16 divided by 0.008. 0.16. We're looking at 20x. Yeah, 20x from where we are here. So probably not a bad one to have a little bit of a gamble. Still a huge market cap, right? I'd probably do a little bit of research to see if they're actually doing any upgrades to did you buy any new releases, any partnerships, all that type of stuff. I'm not diving into these projects I'm showing you guys. I'm just showing you why you need to look at historical data sometimes to see and realize that altcoins are not the answer, because not many are going to outperform their previous all-time high, only a selected few. We have Stellar next, very similar chart, equal all-time high, so not one that I'm going to be holding past 68 cents. Lisk, here's another one that absolutely died after its 2018 bull market, did nothing in the recent bull market, so I don't expect it to do any better unless there's obviously upgrades to whatever product they're selling out there. Next, we have Steam. We can see Steam absolutely did really well during the first bull market in 2018. Did not recover. Not one that I'd be looking at. Ethereum Classic. Here we go. Much like Ethereum, okay, had a 2017 bull market, outdid itself, not by a whole lot if you think about it. $42 was the all-time high. And this one was 120-ish, right? So this is probably a token that I would look at from right here. You're looking at a 6x. If it does, maybe do a 3x from its previous all-time high, so it gets to like $300, you'd be looking at, an easy 12x, 13x from where we are now. But once again, I'd have to do some research to make sure this is a sound investment. This is a good one. This is one that I would really look at because of because it outperformed and it outperformed and created a new all-time high in the recent bull market compared to the first one that it was in. Next one, we've got Litecoin. As you can see, once again, just barely broke the previous bull market all-time high in 2017. So I'd be expecting something maybe quite similar. So from here, you're looking at a 4x. But if I'm going for a 4x, I may as well put it into Bitcoin. And then we have Waves. Okay, last one, you can see the bull market 2018 outperformed itself, which is great. Has a similar chart to Bitcoin where we had the initial high, came back down and then produced one more high. So this is definitely a token that I would look into just because it has performed well in its previous bull market. So if I was to expect something at least the same, I'd be looking at, a 25x from here with Waves according to this chart. However, like some things, as I've already mentioned, I'm not going to be taking these to the bank. I will be taking huge profits on these tokens if I was to invest in them at each of those fib retracements, because I don't want to be holding the bag if this occurs. All right, Lisk, not that one, Stellar, this one. All right, so Lisk and Dash, like you don't want to be accidentally investing in some of these tokens because look. So, okay, this is why I wanted to show Peercoin. So you can see first bull market did okay, second bull market did better, and then the third one no good. So imagine buying Ethereum Classic. You're like, oh yeah, look, it's going to do a third time. It might do exactly what Peercoin did. The third time, it might not perform, right? So we're coming up to the third bull market for Ethereum Classic. So I'm not going to try and be greedy. I'm not going to expect it to outperform its previous all-time high when you have tokens like Peer that can, make you think, oh, this thing's going to go to the moon, and it doesn't perform. So guys, all I wanted to sort of cover today is just to show you guys that even though a lot of you guys invest in altcoins, I invest in altcoins, they're a great way to make some short profits. I'm still always taking those profits and reinvesting it into the hardest asset, which is Bitcoin. It's not financial advice, it's just what I do. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. And I'll catch you guys next week for the Bitcoin technical analysis video on Monday. Apart from that, peace out.